and welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if you're new. For today's video, I'll be showing you how to get this very green smoky eye and this red bold lip. Now this is a perfect makeup look for the holiday season. It's really great, especially if you want a very understated wearable version of a very otherwise bright look. So we have a very wearable kind of smoky eye and a really nice, just signature bold red lip. So without further ado, we'll get into the video, but before we do so, be sure to like this video and to subscribe to our channel for more videos every single week. So without further ado, let's get on into the video. Alright guys, so I've already primed my face and I've put on foundation. So I've been doing something a little bit different with my concealer lately, so I'm just going to show you guys what I'm doing today with my concealer. For concealer, I'm taking my Maybelline Age concealer. So I'm just taking my concealer and I'm actually going to apply it not only here under my eyes, but I'm going to do it in more of a triangular type of version. I used to do this a long time ago, but I stopped doing it because I found that it was a bit too much for my eyes personally. But I've been noticing that when you bring it closer to the nose, it really does brighten up that area. And it also helps with your nose contour if you're doing like a really heavy nose contour. As you guys know, I don't do a really heavy nose contour, but I think today I might try it out. So I'm not going to do too much concealer anywhere else on the face. I'm just focusing on the under the eyes and near the nose. And yeah, that's pretty much the difference in terms of concealer that I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait a little bit, let this warm up on the skin, and then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and blend all of this out. When you're buffing all of this out, you want to make sure that you can blend the foundation and concealer seamlessly together. That way one area is not too harshly white compared to the rest of the face. Alright, so now that I have the concealer on, I'm going to move in and take my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder in the shade 230. You guys know, if you've watched my videos before, you know that I use this a lot. And I use this to set my concealer. I don't use a loose powder because I haven't purchased one as yet. I'm going to do a video soon of me trying out loose powder and to see how that works differently compared to the pressed powder that I always use. I'm just going to apply this to my areas of concealer and then we'll finally move on to brows. Also, you guys may notice that I do use a lot of pressed powder on my face. That's mainly because I have very oily skin, so it usually seeps through if I don't add enough powder all over the face. So that's my reason to it, but you can add just on the areas of concealer. I just like to add all over the face. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to brows. So for brows, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Granite. And I'm just going to speed through my brows. I've done them a million times on this channel, so I'm not going to redo them until I do something different with them. But for now, it's just the same routine. So I'm just going to speed through this. And guys, just excuse my brows for this tutorial. I really do need to go get them threaded soon. So that's why they look the way they do. And also, if you haven't seen me do this before, basically I just outline my brows. I don't do very heavy filling in of my brows, just very light. Alright, so now we're finally moving on to eyeshadow. Now first I'll be taking my Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced, and I'm going to be taking the shade White Peach. And as you guys know, I always like taking this very white, like really stark matte white type of shade, and I just apply this all over my lid. Because I have very hooded eyes, usually the concealer that's on my lid and the powder creases over sometimes, so that's why I add this on top, just to keep everything in place. I'm then going into the 35M palette from Morphe, and I'm taking the shade Play It Cool, which is kind of a cool tone brown, explains the name, but I'll be applying this onto my outer corner and like in a kind of V shape and going into my crease just to add a nice transition to my eyes before I start layering on color. Next up, I'm going back into that palette and I'm taking the shade Sparks Fly, which is a really nice dark, still kind of warmish, but at the same time kind of cool toned brown. And I'm applying this right over the other color because I want to layer this on to build up a really nice transition shade. And I just basically want to windshield wiper this into the crease. So you're just going to do like a back and forth sort of motion just to blend that in. Going back into that palette, I'm taking the shade Express Yourself, which is a nice darker tone green, and I'm going to start layering this on to layer up color. So I'm just applying this right where I applied the brown because I want to mix the two shades together to get kind of a more darker green. I could have used a darker green in the palette, but I wanted to layer this first. And once that's done, I'm going back into the palette and I'm taking the shade Hello Sunshine, which is kind of a yellowish green. It almost comes up kind of like a really dark mustard sort of shade. It looks green in the pan and on camera, but when you add it on, it's kind of a mustardy kind of shade. So I really wanted to add some more brightness there. So that's why I blended this together with the dark green that we just added before. Next up, I'm taking the shade Stroke of Luck, which I really love. It's a really nice, almost neon green. And it's really pigmented, and it has a really nice blending ability, so this was really perfect for this look. And I'm going to apply this all over the lid. Now you're gonna see later on I'm gonna cut the inner corner and then apply the glitter on top, but this is what I was going to do initially. Now to bring back that darker shade, I'm taking Sparks Fly once again, and I'm just going to run this in the crease because I want this to come back. I want some more of the darkness to come back because we need it to be a little more smoky and less kind of monotone with all the green. So this is just going to give it some more depth. Dipping back into the palette, I'm taking Express Yourself once again, and I'm just going to apply this over the green just to bring out some more of that vibrancy in the color. I'm then taking the shade Green with Envy, which is a nice army green, and I'm going to apply this in the crease area just to bring out some more depth and to bring back in some of that darkness on the outer edge. And now I'm going to try out something a little new. I'm taking some more of my concealer, and I'm just going to apply this in the inner corner or the inner part of my lid, just so that I can apply a more vibrant shadow on top. Speaking of vibrant shades, I'm taking the shade Bold Moves, which is a really nice reflective green shimmer shade. And I'm going to apply this on the inner part of my lid and blending it together with the darker part of my outer lid, just so that everything looks very seamless and it doesn't look too harsh and have any harsh edges. You want to do this and layer it up until you get the maximum pigment that you want. Now I'm mixing the two shades Play It Cool and Green with Envy, and we want to mix these two and bring it back into the outer V because we want to bring back again more depth into it because it could kind of get lost with all the blending. So we want to bring that back just so that the look has more depth. I'm also taking Play It Cool once again, and I'm going to run this on top of my crease. So not in my crease, but like at the top, just so that it looks very seamless on the top of the lid as well. So I'm going back into Bold Moves because I really wanted to build up that shimmer a little more. So I'm taking some MAC Fix Plus off camera and I spritz my brush with it before adding it on top of that layer from before. And as you can see, well, you can kind of see because I don't have the best lighting, but you can kind of see that it brings out more of that shimmer and it really brings out the vibrance in it because it's being used with a wet brush, and that with the MAC Fix Plus because that is perfect for bringing up pigment in any shadow. I'm then taking Stroke of Luck and then also Green with Envy, and we're going to mix these two shades and we're going to apply this on the lower lash line just to connect the top with the bottom and that it looks more seamless and put together that way. It'll also make your eyes look a little bigger as well. Next up, I'm taking the shade Light of the Party and Pop Star, which is a really nice gold shade that I used in my previous tutorial. And we're going to apply this on the inner tear duct area, and that's just going to bring some highlight as well as on the brow bone. Alright, so as per usual, I'm just going to go do my other eye off camera and I will be right back. Alright, so both eyes are complete. I'm just taking a clean brush and just buffing out the edges at the top, just so that it looks very seamless and there are no harsh parts or like splotchy areas and things like that. So just to make it look seamless. I'm also taking my Kat Von D liner in the shade Trooper, and I'm also doing my eyeliner. You can do a very dramatic wing if you'd like with this. I chose to go a little more simple with the wing. Next up, I'm taking my Urban Decay 24/7 Waterline Eye Pencil, and I'm going to apply this on my upper and lower lash line just to make sure that the color of the eyeliner is nice and pigmented, as well as under my lash line. I'm then taking my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, and this is the medium deep one, I believe. And I'm going to do my contour very loosely. I'm just kind of bronzing my face. So that's my temple area and my cheekbones as well as my nose. Now for my nose, I'm going to do a much more stronger contour than usual, like I said. So I'm using this very thin brush to do so. For blush, I'm taking my MAC Shimmer Tone blush in the shade Peach Twist, and this is a nice kind of dark peachy kind of color. So I'm going to apply this onto my cheeks. Now I kind of applied too much, so I took a beauty blender and just blended that away. For lashes, I'm taking my Velour lashes in Short and Sweet, and I'm just going to apply this along with mascara off camera, and everything will be in the description box. I'm then taking my Kat Von D liner, my lip liner in the shade Lolita 2, and I'm just going to apply this on my lips. And you want to be really careful with this because we're going in with a red shade, so you want to make sure that this is as perfect as it can be. Next up, I'm taking my Allure Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Cuba, and I'm just applying this onto my lips, and you want to apply this really carefully because it is a very bright red. Now I wanted to build up this color a little more, so I took my Tarte Tarte's lip paint in the shade Cheerleader, and I'm just applying this into the center area, and I decided to apply it everywhere else just to build up that pigment just a little bit more. For highlight, I'm taking my ABH Glow Kit, and I'm taking the shade Summer and Moonstone, and I'm mixing these two shades and applying it onto my cheekbones as well as on my nose. I'm also taking my Too Faced Hangover Setting Spray, and I'm just going to spritz my face. And then you're going to wait for this to dry, and then everything is done. Alright guys, so this is the final look. As you can see, it's a really nice green and goldish smoky eye, paired off with a nice matte bold red lip. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to comment down below what you thought of this video and other videos on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos every single week, and to turn on post notifications to be notified whenever we upload. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Happy holidays, and thanks for watching. Bye!